The National Association for the Advancement of Colored People is what NAACP means. It was an organization that was founded a great while ago. W.B. Du Bois was one of the many founders of the organization. And essentially the goal of NAACP is to make sure that people of color, not only black people, are advanced educationally, economically, and politically. And that includes educating them about their rights as humans, as well as informing them of methods in which they can achieve justice.
I think it's just, social change towards colored people and making advancements in laws specifically. Like a lot of their initiatives align with bills and different things that will help prove to make laws, to make change. It's not just, having like a forum to speak, but it's also a forum for political change.
Being a part of NAACP, I feel like I'm a part of something great, something that dates back so long. It makes me feel like I'm actually really a part of something that's making changes. Like when you put on the news, like you hear about NAACP, like that's something like you hear about, like in terms of Ferguson, like anything, like all the cases that go on that involve us, like political cases and social cases, like just that name itself, that's what rings to me. And then, I've always wanted to do things that involve change, so I was like, NAACP sounds perfect,
I think the biggest challenge is probably how much work goes into it. Requires a big time commitment. My course load is kind of heavy right now, and I have like a couple jobs, so that plus sitting on an e-board. An e-board is essentially kind of like taking a 3-credit class. Like it's a lot of work. It's not just organizing GBMs every week, but we have events every week. We have fundraising we have to do. Things, since it's a national organization, they have things related to the national organizations that we have to take care of as well. So I would say probably the time commitment.
I would say the biggest challenge with national membership is getting people to really care about what our organization does and feel financially, feel so strongly about it that they're willing to put, their money where their mouth is type of thing. A lot of people are social media activists. A lot of people are really concerned about things and they express concerns about things. But at the end of the day, mobilization, organization, all kinds of advocacy is not free. It's not cheap.
The biggest challenge is identifying that everybody's methods of seeking justice and equality and educating people on certain issues may not be the same method that I think is the best appropriate. And so learning to have constructive conversations about how we should go about enacting different things is something that I definitely struggle with when I don't see eye to eye with people on how we should do things.
For me, the challenges that arise from my group, my e-board, it's more like it ranges from like communication sometimes, having everyone have different ideas, because everyone is passionate about NAACP, but all in different ways. So just like kind of like making sure everybody's ideas are heard. That's a real huge concern that we've had, and like also like just unifying, like just being all together, because we are all a new e-board. We all just got to know each other. So like in terms of that, it's just like it's a challenge, but it's also like a growth at the same time.
I feel like I've probably grown the most by learning. Like I definitely was not as involved in different political movements and different things that affect colored people in general until now. So I think if anything, it's more, I've learned a lot, the education aspect.
I think it's helped me find my voice. I've always been one to kind of keep my thoughts to myself, but sitting on e-board, you're kind of forced to say what you think. Everyone has to say how they feel about decisions we're making, because we make decisions collaboratively. So I think being on an NAACP board has helped me speak out a little bit more.
The most resilient of past, though my people smile. Beat their feet and dance for their unmakers, the ones who harbored fertile soil skin and limitless potential in chains. They say I am threatening. They say suspect, misfit, must fit description, brown skin, colored, boy, black boy, Emmett Till, Trayvon Martin, Jordan Davis, Amadou Diallo, niggers threaten them, they say. And perhaps you're right. Maybe I should have walked a little less quickly before the white lady came close. Perhaps I should have prayed a little louder before turning up my radio, before sneaking out for midnight snacks, before they stood their ground and stopped my sky.
I've got my right hand in the air, ready to take this oath I solemnly swear, to educate the masses, trim the grasses, make them all aware of the surface lurking. See, my purpose is to reinform, reduce the confusion. It's an illusion in the truest form. Corruption of the mind, pollution of the soul, population of greatness, but thanks to them you never know. They try to keep it hidden, but it's all good riddance. Rid the world of our children, call it coincidence, all the killings, but this was far from random, it was planned from the start. Presentation of the nation, planting fear in your hearts. And once it gets planted, man, it just spread like disease. What they won't spread is knowledge in hopes of keeping the peace. Because if you knew what I knew, it would throw off the balance. Man, the truth's harder to swallow than
SGA president, I don't want me to brag. Thank you. No. So the reason I'm up here.
and he's running away, he still has to physically apprehend him and then ask him certain questions before he can even use deadly force. That's the one thing I wanted to point out when it comes to solution.
Example, having a teach-in in STEM instead of buying food, and we can't just have these conversations just closed off. Because I think even before this whole Ferguson thing happened, a lot of us were organizing, a lot of them were talking.
Been talking about the birth saving thing all last year. I think that's something we can all get on board with. I think that we can take these campaigns and work together through a coalition model that all of our organizations here, not just the 6 or 7 that were at the meeting on the 21st, can participate.